Welcome back everyone, my name is Eltimar and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Grim Dawn. Where we left off last time, we had finished the temple of Osir, killed some dudes, we went to the Eldritch Realm, which was incredibly cool, really enjoyed that. And now I'm just kind of looking around here to make sure we didn't miss anything of vital importance. Guess not. Then we are headed off. Why can't I go across that upper bridge? So now I want to go across the upper bridge, it won't let me. When I'm in town trying to get under the upper bridge, all it did was try and path me onto it. I see how things are. Alright, we're going to stop off at that shrine one more time. We can get some more loot for free. Well, it's not for free, we have to kill things, but it's totally worth it.
I can't do that yet.
Excuse me, everything. Make way, villainy hero coming through. We may also need to pause the video at some point to sort out our inventory.
I can't do that. I can't do that yet.
Can't move. Kinda stunned. Very much hurt. Kill that guy. Okay.
I can't do that yet.
I think we're good. It's a prismatic eviscerator. Two-handed axe does a bunch of elemental related stuff. What's a word of Inquisitor Abalon? That's actually a fairly nice offhand. We do need an offhand at some point, though. Anyways, we're going to continue on. We're not quite full up, to my knowledge anyways. I have to say this bridge looks very precarious and I wouldn't want to go on it. Oh, right, it's the griffins! I forgot all about the griffins. I wonder why the griffins are fighting us. With all of the undead and shitty things in the area, you'd think the griffins would give us a bit of a break. Empowered astral leg wraps. Might be better than what we're wearing. Reckless power. Oops. Health. Less health. A bunch of elemental resistance. Lightning and aether damage. They may be better. Also, they have more armor. But again, I'll go through all my inventory stuff when we're full. Which is pretty soon. I just want Glacier Relic pattern. Where's that? Give me that one. That's the one I want. Then I can make that new Transcendent Relic for ourselves, which I think will be really neat. Alright. The Corbin plateau. It's gotta be a rift gate around here somewhere. Also more griffins. They might have a bunch of bristly fur. Let's go this way. I know there's some enemies over here. Is the reason I came this way. And empowered watcher of the frozen north. It's a decent shield. A random gate, which we just immediately broke open for no reason. What if there was a gate to like a lovely little village and we just smashed it open for no reason? Not saying that was what it was, because it clearly wasn't, but you know, could have been. I feel bad killing griffins, because in like a lot of other games, griffins are pretty okay, and are generally actually sort of good guys. If you think about games like Might and Magic, the griffins are clearly on the good guy side in like every game they're in. What is up this way? We found Korvan Sands. I don't know if we're supposed to be here yet. I mean, I guess we are. We've missed a bunch of stuff over there, but if we find a rift over here, we'll head back. Did we inadvertently stumble on the correct path? Maybe. What the hell is that thing? A titanivore.
That skill's not ready.
Is immune to cold and hits like a freight train. $300,000 health left.
I can't do that yet.
Definitely stuns when it oh, I got caught on the stupid mountain and took a double hit. That hurt. We're gonna heal. It is fast though, holy crap. Gotta kill it nice and carefully.
That skill's not ready.
Come on, shield, there we go, shields up. Okay, we got a couple good attacks off. That's gonna hurt. That pounce attack it does lots of damage. Ow.
Can't do that yet.
Shield's not up yet. Where are you at? There you are. Shields shortly.
I can't do
Come on, shield. There we go. Almost killed it. That was closer than I anticipated. Oh no, it went the other way. It learned. We got Corbin Rex's achievement.
My
Also
inventory is
didn't
full.
give me anything that I wanted for loot. Alright, well, I'm going to pause here. I'm going to go back to town, sell some junk, see what else we have in our inventory, maybe switch up some gear, and I'll be back very shortly. Alright, we are back having sold a bunch of stuff. We switched out a couple items, not much. We got a new pair of boots, which are okay, and we got those pants, which were significantly better than our other ones. We're also going to read some things. Visions of Terror. This place we have chosen for our vigil, this conclave, this accursed land. The veil screams in agony, the whispers from beyond threaten to unravel reality. Every night I've spent here, the visions of the other side came more frequently, and with greater clarity. What I first thought... Hang on, we're getting hit by a sandstorm? Apparently. What I first thought were images of darkness turned out to be much more. Within me were the screams of 1,000,000 souls crying out to me, crying out for mercy. As my dream solidified, I realized that the darkness moved. It writhed like a mass of tentacles, endlessly searching for something. The sight of it filled me with terror beyond anything I've ever felt. I woke gasping for breath and grasping for anything within reach that would remind me that I'd left the dream, to the chagrin of my fellow seers sharing the tent. Shaken and unable to sleep, I sought the wisdom of the oracle. To my surprise, or perhaps I should have expected this, my master was already waiting for me inside his tent. Lanterns illuminated him in their flickering light as he sat cross-legged, without his usual regalia, on a rug with tea set out for us. As he stared ahead, with his blank eyes, he gave me a tight-lipped smile and motioned for me to sit. Before I could utter a word, he said, "Yugol." I was taken aback and blinked. The oracle continued by describing exactly what I had seen in my dreams, as if he had been there to share them with me. The insatiable night, he called it, the eternal darkness that exists in the beyond. It is primordial, unfathomable to the human mind. We see it as a mass of writhing tentacles, but what it truly is cannot be described in words. Yugol exists to consume everything, its endless pursuit halted only by the light of the celestial stars. I was told that it is a gift and a burden to bear witness to the makings of reality. What I had seen cannot be unseen. When I started visibly shaking, the oracle placed his palm upon my forehead, and for a moment I could swear his eye tattoos were staring at me. Yet I found myself instantly calmed. When I asked what he had done, he would not say, but he offered to teach me a technique to calm myself and banish the darkness from my nightmares. It is a lucid method by which I could conjure my own stars into the dream, brighter than the desert sun. I thanked him for his wisdom, and promised to return the next eve for my lesson. As I stood to leave, I glanced in his direction. He was staring ahead, as before, a somber expression on his face. His tea remained untouched. I said no more, and closed the tent flap behind me. It would seem my visions have disturbed the oracle as well, but I trust that his judgment and foresight will carry us through whatever darkness looms on the horizon. I pray to Drieg that the oracle's teachings will spare me further nightmares. That's the Vision of Terror again. This is the Eldritch Realm Terrace. I must admit, at first I was thrilled with my discovery. To defy the witch gods and transport myself into their domain without their knowledge was an exhilarating prospect. Even more so when I succeeded. What I did not account for, however, is the intrinsic insatiability of the realm I had traveled to. The land itself, as astounding to behold as it is, shifts within a vast emptiness. The portal I had ripped through the veil, became unstable within minutes of my exploration. I gasped in dismay from a distance as it ruptured and vanished before my eyes. Without my reagents back on Cairn, I cannot possibly create another rift. My only chance now is to study the local flora, in the hopes of discovering alternatives to my spell. This is a realm of wild magic after all. Surely, if witch gods can harness it, then so can I. There are, however, more pressing concerns. While I seem to have evaded the infinite gaze of Drieg, I have attracted the attention of local wildlife. Most appear to be harmless. Ravens with feathers that shimmer in the sunlight fly overhead, and lizard-like creatures skitter around my feet, but from time to time, I hear the bushes suddenly shift violently, as if something larger passes by. Unnatural sounds echoing in the distance have sent a chill down my spine on more than one occasion. Worse still, the sounds are getting closer. I'm starting to believe now that my success was not so much due to outsmarting the gods themselves, but them knowing that I was doomed to begin with. This is not the domain of humans. It is an untamed realm teeming with creatures beyond comprehension, and I have become their prey. The parchment is covered in what appears to be dried up human bile. Day 4. The Corbin people have been generous with their treasures, hardly a threat in sight. I had to use the fire of my camp to scare off something lurking in the dark last night, but otherwise it had been an easy journey so far. Today I was making my way back to camp when something stunned me, made me feel a bit dizzy. I know a good night's sleep will help me feel right as rain, nothing to be concerned about. Day 6, or is it 7? I'm not sure for how long I've slept, but something is definitely wrong. My lips are cracked, my gums are bleeding, and the headache, my gods, the headache is blinding. The skin feels like it's crawling, everything hurts so bad I can barely move. What manner of demon stung me? I managed to crawl my way back to the horse. I traveled back south out of the basin, but the symptoms have not abated. Twice now I've woken up in agony, burning up. My skin moves on its own as if something was moving beneath the surface. Day 10. I watched in horror as the fat maggot tore through the flesh of my abdomen from the inside. They are inside me. By the gods, they are feasting while I still live. That is horrible. I write this final letter so that those who may find this know what transpired. Know that I am not a sinister man. I would never murder anyone in cold blood, but through some evil dwelling within this place, that is precisely what has happened. I came to these lands with my two companions, Harnan and Bellic. After weeks of travel through the accursed sands, we at last came to see the spires of Korvan ruins. They were stabbing up from the horizon or from the haze of the horizon like the rotting ribs of some great dead god. It was not until we set foot inside the first tomb that I began hearing the whispers. I kept asking what the others were muttering about, but they would laugh, saying that I was merely hearing things. As our days of digging and opening tombs continued, I became convinced that they were conspiring to slit my throat. I refused to sleep. I grew weary and delusional. The whispers kept gnawing at my mind. Yesterday, as we made our way to the latest tomb, the voices took their toll. We had found a small opening on the surface, through which we were able to descend via a rope. As soon as my feet touched the dusty tiles, however, I was but a passenger of my own body, trapped behind my own eyes as my companions moved into the inky depths. My hands reached for the rope and soaked it with lamp oil. I screamed to warn the others, but I had no voice. I stared in horror as our only means of escape vanished in a brief blaze. Deeper inside, I found Harnan overlooking a golden railing near a waterfall. My hand came up into my vision as if to push him. I tried to fight my arms down. I commanded my mouth to make any noise, but nothing came of it. I was powerless and could only watch as his hands shot out in desperation, grasping for anything within reach. The railing, the wall, me. His eyes met mine with a final fearful question. Why? Then he was gone. Tumbled over the ravine and out of sight tumbling over the railing and out of sight into the ravine. Bellic was not far from my grisly deed. I found him admiring the intricate work of a gold-encrusted statue. The figure was frightening, with too many arms gripping razor-sharp halberd, as if at the ready to defend the tomb. There was an eerie quality of unlife about it that made my blood run cold. In a flash, my hands were wrapped around Bellic's arms. I lifted him with inhuman strength way up into the air before forcing his back onto the statue's weapon. I released him and watched as he slowly slid down the length of the halberd, his blood pouring down along the shaft and pooling at the foot of the statue. It was at that moment when my last friend was dead that whatever spell had enthralled me had ended. Freed from my mental prison, I screamed and wailed and pounded on the cold stones like a distraught child. For a moment, I could swear I saw a withered face clad in golden armor staring back at me, but then it was gone. I cannot say when or how, but I pulled Bellic down off the statue. Nor do I know how long I laid there holding my dead friend. My mind was broken. There was no hope of escape, I saw to that. By my own hand, I became trapped down here to waste away and rot to the bone with my fallen companions. I need to write this, if not for myself, then for my friends. I can only pray that their spirits know in their hearts that it was not me, and they will greet me with forgiveness when I see them beyond the veil. Gods preserve me, my hands were not my own. There's some shenanigans going on in these lands. That's a lot of things flying at me.
That skill's not ready.
These guys have a lot of cool attacks. They deal quite a bit of damage. Then again, we did kill a giant raptor Rex thing. T-Rex creature. It was very powerful. Did a lot of damage. We also cannot stand in dust storms, I guess. That is a good way to get killed fast. What is that? A sacrificial altar. Once we clear out the area, I'm going to take a look at it. What do we need for it? Dynamite, maybe? The surface of the altar is scorched, but as if by potent magic. It may be dangerous to rouse this potential without first becoming considerably more powerful. So I guess we're not going there yet. We'll have to remember that that exists, though. Also, apparently missed a big area in near the end of the last act. We're gonna have to go back at some point and take a look into that. Because we missed the skeleton key area, apparently, so I want to go take a look and see what we missed. We'll do that in a little bit, though. Not in a rush. Lots of remains. Lots of dead people and some bits. My long-range attacks are better than his. That leads somewhere. We're gonna just explore the north part here. What is that? Oh. When there's a group of them together and they're sort of similarly colored, it looks like they're like a giant creepy monster. Oh, there's a... well, I might as well go grab it. It's worth some money at the very least. I think these loop around, but I just want to check. There's also a rift up there finally. Do you think one of these is what stabbed that guy? Because this is not a small creature. It made him go insane. It's possible. Alright, we've arrived at a rift. It's the Corbin Sands Rift. And if we look at the map, we have come a long ways, but we clearly missed a bunch of stuff over back there. Unfortunately, there's no really good rift path to get back there, so we're just going to have to walk it. And get attacked by a massive amount of underground insects. Free experience, though. We'll wander back that way, make sure we didn't miss anything of vital importance, or even moderate importance. Who knows? We walked through the sandstorm. We're back on the plateau, which has some very cool statues. Like, that is a really cool statue. We're also almost level 53. There's a gate here. With that piercing resistance, it's not nearly as bad. I'm really glad we picked up those things. Can't remember exactly who mentioned that I should make some of those, but I do deeply appreciate that comment. It was super helpful. That 36% piercing resistance from the two silk things I made is really good. Anything down? Oh, more griffins. There's some corpses. Or a corpse that I can actually loot. And anything else up here? Negative. Alright, well, we've reached a new rift. We did some shopping. And by that I mean switched up some gear. I guess that's pretty much a good place to call it for now. We're going to continue on our way in the next video. I may quickly jump back over to the last areas of the necropolis and see if I can figure out the skeleton key zone that was mentioned, but maybe not yet. Maybe we'll just continue on with the DLC and then we'll go back for that later on. For now though, I'll leave you here. Take care. Have yourselves a wonderful evening.